we're starting post game of Endwalker. The first the first 10 um quest. And then we're going to then I'm gonna have to quit streaming for a while of this game because I ain't gonna do any of the side stuff on stream.
What?
It's so much quieter these days without everyone around. Not that I'm pining for your return, you understand. I have my sources, and I know that each and every one of you is doing well and keeping busy with your endeavors. Meanwhile, I'm left with a surplus of free time and the question of how to make the most of it. What about you? Any plans for the immediate future? Traveling to the edge of existence and back wasn't enough? Well, if that's the case, I might have a suggestion for you. You've fought bravely and selflessly, helping those in need and saving our star from unimaginable threats. For your deeds, you've been hailed as the champion of Eorzea and a host of other incredible things. But why not put those titles aside for a while? Put yourself as a simple adventurer again and travel the world in search of wonder. Oh, that's the spirit. I can feel from here the blazing fire that just lit in your belly. Now, all you need is a destination. If you're having trouble deciding, just leave it to me. Thavner, that's where you should go next. I doubt you were able to squeeze in a proper tour of Radzatan the last time you were there. What with the burning skies and rampaging monsters and so forth. And I'm sure Ritra would be pleased to see you. Then there's the bounty itself. The Empire's presence in the region was always a deterrent to exploration. So if you've a mind to sail that sea, now's your chance. Just think of all the new experiences you could have.
Tell me, have you been to the ruins beneath the waters of the bounty? As the bearer of Azem's crystal, you may consider your duty to see at least that much.
Oh, I know that look. That's an adventurer ready to take on the world. In anticipation of an occasion like this, I was planning to gift you a new set of traveling clothes, but it's still a work in progress. Shouldn't take much longer now though, so sit tight and I'll have the last few bits sewn up before you can finish another cup of tea. Stitch in here and trim in there. Knot the threads with love and care. Just a little more to go. I'm sure you're still brimming with excitement. I am one with the needle. See how the fabric surrenders to my whims. Don't worry, I'll make sure the lining has plenty of pockets for all your little treasures. I swear adventurers are worse than children when it comes to hoarding every feather and leaf and animal hide they come across. Oh, we mustn't forget the waterproofing. Gods forbid you forget to disrobe before plunging into the sea, or a river, or a piping hot bath.
Go, Bess, is that you? We're going to Pandemonium in Endwalker. So that means the devil.
Emperor.
Emperor? Oh, the Emperor from 2?
Yeah, Pandemonium is his final dungeon. At least, that's when he overthrows hell.
I'm amazed they are doing him then.
Remember, in 2, you pretty much kill him, and then some few other things happen, and then suddenly Pandemonium shows up, and then it's like the Emperor says, like, I've conquered hell now, and now I
You're awake.
rule hell, so now hell's coming to the world, and I'm going to take back what I lost.
And the devil is in a random chest.
Mm-hmm.
I find it funny that in the original game he was called Satan. In the remaster he's called Beelzebub.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that was the Emperor from 2 that was showing up.
You seem awfully cheerful. Pleasant dreams?
Nice to see them actually
Or are you
using
just
him
looking
because he was
forward to the
kind of a
next chapter
joke.
of your grand saga?
You do know that in the GBA remake, there's an extra chapter
provide
where
you
the
with
heroes
new
went to
power,
heaven, and then they
so
learned that
shall.
also the good side of the
If you're
Emperor conquered
accompanying me
heaven.
to the Diamond Forge,
Oh,
we'll put
really?
finishing touches
Yeah.
on your outfit.
Pretty
Shall
much
we?
his soul was split into two at his death, and his good side went to heaven, and his evil side went to hell, and his evil side took over hell, and his good side took over heaven. But guess what? The good side of a narcissist is still a narcissist.
They had to get him out of heaven then, huh?
Pretty much in the next chapter, the final boss is the good side of the Emperor, yeah, the angel side. But and you know who your party members are? Everyone who died along the way.
Oh, wonderful!
So that's your party for that chapter. Pretty much everyone who died have to go through heaven, and then they learned like, oh, I'm testing you, and it's like, oh, we've all tested, and it's like, I've tested you and I forgive you, and you can now be with me here in heaven and rule together. And it's like, oh, it's still the Emperor, he still wants to rule, and he's just bullshitting us, and then it's like, yeah.
I find it
Trust me.
hilarious because everyone that died kind of died for a stupid reason. Like, of course, one of them saved you from a giant boulder.
Mm-hmm.
Another randomly gets killed by an arrow.
Mm-hmm.
There is so much side story stuff I need to do. I'll do it. I'll just do it off stream.
Oh, trust me, it's a lot of side story stuff you still have to do, and it's probably side story stuff.
Is it just going to be the Emperor, or is it going to be other characters from 2 as well? Because apparently I noticed that one area is like the castle from 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being told that Gobez will be in it.
We'll see.
I remember you telling me that, but
Oh yeah, they're just similar to the Omega series fights.
yeah. But if they have Gobez, it'll be kind of interesting to see his fight, because if he has the dragon with him, I don't see that ending well. A lot of people didn't like Final Fantasy II because how it was set up. I mean, I don't know why it was set up so badly, but I guess it was created by the original guy who made Romance Saga. I unlocked the Unending Codex. Interesting. I'm kind of surprised they didn't add that earlier. Before I go do this, I'm going to head to the main area and get new armor and such. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There should be a place here. Where is it? There's a Han. Oh, I'm looking for. Where is it? It should be here. I'm trying to find the area you go to. Oh, here we go. Hey, yeah, let's see if I can find this guy, this person. Wait, this ain't it. No, don't sit help. Took a while to find this again. Now let's do it. Okay. There's side story stuff here. We were doing that. I'll be doing that upstream. But I need to find the person who does the armor and such. That's not it, right there. That's not it. Yeah.
What's up?
That's not it. Where is this person? I'm trying to remember the name of the person, the name of the vendor. You get the armor from each time you finish an
Go away now.
expansion. Would they be in a different zone, or do I have to go back to the zone they're in?
It's either in those vendors, the sundries, are mostly in the main city of the expansion or the secondary city of the expansion.
That'd be Razahan then. Yeah, I think it'd be in the city you go to first, which is kind of weird. That's the materia vendor. Yeah, I need to do the materia now because I'm max level, but I need to figure out how to do that.
You need to have some a max level creation class to do that. So you need a level 90 blacksmith, alchemist, that kind of stuff.
Lovely. Ah, here we go. Shield's fine. It looks like I already got the best armor and such, and it's kind of different. A different vendor now. They don't seem to do Alagon tombstones anymore. It's now Alagon tombstones a purism.
Uh-huh.
So it sounds like as the Han went through the rebellion that 2 did. Interesting. At least it didn't have like 4 characters that got killed by horses at the beginning. I have no idea when the next patch comes out, so yeah. I have a feeling I won't have much game time left, so... Wow, this man is a drinker. I think he's had too much. I don't think he can tell me anymore. But yeah, I'm hoping that the next expansion is just as good as Endwalker, or they just calm it down a bit and it becomes basically a few years later. Because this hasn't this arc gone on for 10 years?
Very much.
They're gonna have to set up
in story. It's not been 10 years. It's been less.
Well, I mean, they should have a few years be skipped, like let the hero rest.
That's not how it works.
I know. But this poor hero is probably gonna have a broken body after a while.
Please, Ashal, please! You must let me have that treasure map!
What's all this about?
My mother and father were slaughtered by monsters. My baby sister, still too young to fend for herself. Can you spare us no kindness?
So, you hope to find your fortune? And what? You expect me to surrender my wares for pity's sake? What have you to offer in payment? As I thought. Come back when you've more than rags to your name. This is no mere treasure map. It is a guide to the vaults of Arzadal III, one of the great satraps of Radzat Han, and a direct descendant of Alzadal Khan.
A map to Alzadal's legacy?
So he says. A fake, I'd wager.
This is no fake. The parchment is marked with an arcane glyph of passage. You may find the ruins hidden in the bounty, but you won't be setting foot inside without this in your possession. A priceless artifact it is, discovered amongst the rubble in the aftermath of the final days, and lovingly restored by yours truly. This map is the key to fabulous riches, and I'll be the king of fools to simply give it away. Be glad I am no such king, boy. Your scrawny-eyed had never returned with that treasure alive.
Oh, cruel fate! Why must you tempt me with wealth I am powerless to claim? How I shall envy the one who purchases that precious map! Whatever they pay will be but pittance against the golden hoard they stand to uncover.
Well, hello, Estinian.
What of you, sir? Fighting man of your stature would surely relish the challenge of recovering Alzadal's lost fortune.
A fortune, you say?
If I had but the strength to seize that treasure, my starving sister would never want for food.
I have a feeling this kid is not.
I'll take it. Will this cover the price? Well met, my friend. Someone is dressed for adventure.
I'm not. We're in the adventure year.
Why Favner of all places? Knowing you, I suspect there's more to your plans than sightseeing and shopping. Ruins beneath the bounty. Curious. And here I've acquired a map to just such a site.
With that sale, I do believe I've earned the rest of the day off. Thank you for your patronage, sir, but if you'll excuse me.
You needn't mind us.
And now I've fleeced one of the heroes of the final days. Pray the sisters were looking elsewhere.
This map may or may not be genuine. Either way, we'll need a ship to find out for sure. Lest you misunderstand, I seek the treasure not for myself. If such a fortune truly exists, then it could help ease the struggles of those who lost their loved ones in the final days. I hope to do for Thavnir what you and Alphino did for the Alamegans when you recovered the Mad King's trove.
I remember that, yeah.
Come now. You know Alphino needs little encouragement when it comes to recounting the tales of your shared exploits. Speaking of precocious lads, that boy in the bazaar was clearly an accomplice of the merchant. Suppose his role was to draw the attention of the crowd and add weight to the merchant's bold claims. Transparent act for the most part. It was not all mummery. The need to provide for his sister rang true enough. Thus, if some portion of the profits end up in that waif's pockets, then I will consider it money well spent, whether the map leads us to the vault or not.
I have a feeling that the Emperor is not going to be one
You are
part.
coming along, yes?
I have a feeling that he's going to be the next main thing in the next expansion unless there's something else.
Who?
The Emperor. I have a feeling that he won't be the main story of the side stuff unless he becomes a big part of the next expansion.
I thought as much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they have a lot of stuff to do still, like the South Sea where
Let's see about
the other
securing
dragons
a
went.
vessel.
Not their planet, the other dragons went on, what is it called? In Euros, this planet.
Yours, yeah.
Actually, it's called something else. Etheris is what the planet's called.
Well, Star's called Hylian, but it has a different name as well.
I'm gonna have a feeling that we're gonna have another race join as playable races. There's these elephant beast people I've noticed, and people want them to be playable as well. They also want the bunnies to be playable, but I don't see them being fighters.
Well, there's more chance of having a playable race of Mughals.
Then we can fight King Mughal as a Mog.
Fighting.
Matsuya! Yeah. Wait a second, that name sounds familiar from another game. I like Estinian. He's turned into a very good character. And here I thought he was just Mr. Grumpy. After Nidhogg's death, he became really good character.
Who?
Estinian.
Yeah, he's a fan favorite.
I'm not surprised. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to, another character of mine, do blacksmithing and all that, and then get the gem put in. I didn't think I would have to do that, but oh well. We're probably gonna need someone to do it in the guild to help, but right now we don't have, I don't think we have anyone doing it. Also, why is it snowing in game?
Ah, Ojika, my good man. Would you be so kind as to...
Oh, isn't this a pleasant surprise?
I wish you had sent word ahead. I thought I was having visions for a moment there.
You know, one story that needs to be finished is what happened to the island that Crowd came from.
That's explained. That's Stormblood.
Oh, that's explained in Stormblood then. Okay, good.
Yeah, one of the side contents that you go to what happened to that island. Because it's somewhere else in the world now.
It got moved?
Yeah? It's the instance Eureka. Where you
to the annex, my friend.
Which is
surely you haven't.
How would I say this? It's one giant dungeon, open world dungeon. We have to do events and such. And huh?
You told me about that dungeon once.
Yeah.
Is that roguelike one, or was that a different one?
No, the roguelike one is Palace of Dead and Heaven on High. This is just literally you go to that island and you have to do several tiny quests and you have a time limit, but it's basically one giant instance, like one giant dungeon overworld.
To accompany you, of course. But I'm afraid I'm committed to another task.
That you can go to for a limited amount of time every time you go.
And
you have to get as far as possible.
And you actually learn how it got moved and everything?
The Asians did that. It's already been confirmed that the Asians did that.
Why would they do that though?
Before you do the fight against the Asian and Crystallium, you know, Realm Reborn's final Realm Reborn's fight with the Asian, that one. Before that, you wanted to contact the sages, one of the sages of Charlian on an island, and then you learn like, oh, this island disappeared. It was destroyed, and then one of the Asians is like, oh, I did that, so I can hurry up the rejoining.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what happened.
I remember.
They did that. They did that. So it's not like how it moved. It was moved by the Asian did something to it, and it got moved to a new location somehow. But
anyone else to come along?
It's twisted and changed in all kinds of ways.
It shows that I don't remember how Realm Reborn much at all, because Realm Reborn was kind of boring.
Yeah, I agree with Realm Reborn. Realm Reborn's post-game was more interesting than the main game. Stormblood, Heaven's Ward was both good normal game and post-game, and the other game, Stormblood, the post-game was more interesting.
It would seem, however,
I
that
feel that the
whatever wisdom she
Stormblood. I
sought
feel
must
Stormblood
not
was
be
good,
found.
only good at Doma.
She arrived in Charlian.
Yeah, I agree.
We spoke briefly before she began her search of new.
Doma was more interesting, but Alamigo wasn't interesting until the post game, because then you got the reason like, oh, the reason Alamigo fell so easily was because they already had a revolution before that, and the Guardians were like, okay, they're now weakened, we're just taking over, bye.
You can say what you want to a girl, Amal. They're actually pretty smart.
Let us head
until they have to face their own emperor and such.
Wait, before you go. I have
And
another
there's a lot of
volunteer
interesting
if
things
you've
going on
room
in
to
the
spare.
post game, and then it sets up Shadowbringers. Shadowbringers is both good. So I've heard that Bird also the post game is really good, and Endwalker so far is also really good, but the post game is unfinished, so we can't really give a full opinion of it yet.
Well, with Endwalker, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
From
Now I'm
what I
hoping the
can
post
gather,
game is good.
the
Right
Lockwood's
now,
wish
the
to
post
build their
game seems to
own
be about
vault
treasure
for the
hunting.
people of Atheris to explore. And
Oh yeah,
they
that
use
it's always treasure
inspiration
hunting.
to help make it
That's
a
also the
memorable
Stormblood
experience.
post game started. It's like, hey,
So,
we just
why not
liberated
take the
Alamigo, but I've heard a
Let him
rumor about a
study
treasure,
Azadal's legacy
and
first
well, we get
hand.
nothing to do, so how about we just have some fun for old time's sake?
Well, after the
None
end of
can
the
deny
world,
benefit of seeing
yeah,
something with your own
and
eyes.
basically the entire game at the end saying,
If
the
our
end.
expedition leader has no objections,
That's how it
I
ended.
say
The
we
end. It
extend
basically said the end.
Orion's
That means the
invitation
arc is done.
once we've spoken with your stolen.
A lot of people thought, oh, the entire game is never gonna get an expansion again. They already said there was another expansion coming. They just finished the arc between
Safe
Exodiarch
travels, you
and
two,
Hydaelyn.
but don't forget,
Yeah, they finished the
I'd
Zodiac
still
and
like your
Hydaelyn
help
arc, so
with that other
you know why.
matter I
So
mentioned.
pretty much it has to do with we know who Zodiac and Hydaelyn are, why they were
Right.
created, because we
Then
know
it's
they're
off to the
primals that were
library.
created, and we learn what the end times exactly is, and well, we put a stop to it, and now there's no need for that anymore. But there's still enough stories to be told because there's still the other reflections of the swords that need to be, you know, balanced out. You need to undo the damage of the Ascians. And let alone, with you probably finish off all the Ascians in Endwalker, and if not, some of them might be still around, and they can also still do their own things because the Ascians are also have their own plans. You mean just like Organization 13 in Kingdom Hearts, where a few of the members pretty much had their own agendas the whole time.
Like one of them being the prophet or whatever his name was, and found that stupid chest, and we have no idea what's in the chest. And
Oh, Luciu. Yeah,
Luciu.
Luciu's not the prophet. Okay, do you want to know who Luciu is?
He's the one that worked with the prophet.
With the Master of Masters, yeah. And the Master of Masters is still alive, by the way. He's 100% alive, and he's the one who set Xehanort on his journey. That was not Luciu, that was the Master of Masters.
What's else is interesting is that they have no idea what Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to do.
Yeah. But, you know how you know Union Cross, right?
I never played Union Cross, but I'm told
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Yeah. So there was gonna be a war, and one of them was gonna be a traitor. That was predicted. Luciu was the traitor. But I thought it was one of the house leaders, and they said they didn't suspect Luciu. But the Master of Master states, "I'm counting on you, Luciu the traitor." So it was Luciu all along. And a lot of other things are going on with that game. Oh.
Ystola's trying to find a way back to the first, apparently.
Who?
Ystola, she wants to go back.
All right. Because we're the only ones who can go back and forth freely. Be right back. I have to check something. What are you doing, kitty? Drinking from a bowl and you want to play.
Close my eyes for one moment.
The music just suddenly stops.
How long have you two been here?
No. Battling?
Nor did I want to fall asleep. I must have been studying for 2-3 days straight before exhaustion finally claimed me.
Oh! She's Twilight Sparkle.
As you know, I've been researching ways to travel from the source to one of its reflections. Well, looking for hints at least. I don't expect to find a simple set of instructions tucked away in some dark corner of the library. So I've been skimming through the stacks, hoping to uncover even a partial mention of any similar feats in the past. A means to travel between worlds exists, and you can be sure I will find a way to employ it. So I promised Runar, but 'twould seem I've set myself a nigh impossible task.
You needn't be so hard on yourself. The leap I made with the Crystal Tower was not achieved in an afternoon. It was the culmination of a collective effort spanning generations.
Oh, you think me discouraged? I assure you, 'tis quite the opposite. A daunting challenge and the time to sink my teeth into it. I feel like a fresh-faced student again.
A scholar in her element.
On my back. Hey.
Indeed. Was there something else you wished to ask of me?
He grabbed my leg.
Alzadal is no minor figure in Harnish history, and much is known about his family. But this is the first I've heard of a descendant surviving a trip to another world. If those tales are true, then he may have left behind some clue as to how it was accomplished. An invitation to delve into one of the world's lingering mysteries. As if I could refuse. And whence do we embark upon this expedition?
Achiali by ship. But
He's
before that,
playful.
Extend
He's
an
doing the
invitation
cat
to
plaything.
Orion as well. He was in Thalmazane last week.
You've really loosened up, eh?
Then by all means, let us recruit him and be on our way.
He wants to play.
Kitty wants to play?
Kijk eens, spelen. We spelen? Nee, we're niet daarmee spelen. Okay. Sorry, my cat I guess cat wanted to play.
Huh, I just got new stuff in that codex.
Mm-hmm.
Why did it take so long to get this stupid thing?
Mm-hmm.
illustrious champion. Cloaked in the mantle of the common explorer, fame set aside.
I do not have that outfit on! It's kind of hilariously dumb.
I am told a new expedition is in the offing. He left to attend to some personal errand, but should be returning ere long.
You've been keeping yourself busy, I trust?
True to our plan, Thancred and I embarked upon a pilgrimage of sorts, with an eye for gauging the state of those lands through which we passed. Our travels were interrupted, however, by a request for aid from our befurred lunar allies. As you may recall, the Loporrits have been seeking new purpose for the moon, another role through which it might serve to benefit mankind. The Forum hath been working to advise them in this endeavor, but I return to offer mine own counsel.
And this has what to do with treasure vaults, exactly?
Ah, you have learned of my predicament from Mistress Cryle. I know not whence they acquired such knowledge, but the Loporrits now stand convinced that adventurers delight in treasure hunts. Thus, with their newly built wonderland of riches and mystery, do they hope to entice all manner of daring delvers to the moon. So earnest and innocent was their desire to bring joy to the world that I found myself powerless to refuse them my cooperation. But what of you, my friends? Why are you come to Labyrinthos? Fascinating. This is indeed a most fortuitous opportunity. I should be honored to accept thine invitation. How long has it been, I wonder, when last our actions were not impelled by fate or desperation?
Aye. Though I cherish the Scion's accomplishments, 'tis pleasant to not have the weight of the world upon our shoulders for a change.
Counting Istinian, we number 5 now, yes? Without knowing what traps or perils await unwary feet, we may be wise to refrain from recruiting others.
I agree. Between us, we should have the skills to handle whatever situation may arise. Shall we be on our way?
What, no time to spare a word for the grizzled old bard?
All is well, I trust?
A wasted trip.
One second, guys. I'm sorry that happened, but someone I noticed someone is gone on the game themselves. Give me a second. Gotta find them real quick.
That's because we didn't travel by experimental etherite. It's astounding what a lack of nausea does for one's sense of well-being. In any case, As we made our way around Ilzabard, we saw that much of the continent was in various stages of chaos. A certain amount of disorder is to be expected. The final days are over, and the people no longer have a common threat binding them together. That's the thing with these fledgling troubles, eh? You need to keep an eye out, lest they mature into full-grown headaches. So, for what reason have so many esteemed personages seemed fit to gather? Beneath the waters of the Bounty, you say? I see you've already stolen away my traveling partner with the promise of unexplored ruins and scholarly glory.
Nay, 'tis not for mine own indulgence, but rather the fulfillment of my commitment to the Loporrits.
Ah, of course. And if you have Estinian rounding out your group, you'll likely have all the members you need.
Feeling left out? I could put in a good word for you, if you like.
We may have been released from our obligations, but I'll never be free of that merciless wit of yours, will I? In all seriousness, it is best I sit this one out. Too many former scions consorting with one another seems a cause for concern in certain quarters. I'll return to my usual reconnaissance and scout out the situation in the Far East. Feel free to share if you come across any interesting revelations. Till we meet again.
Shall we also hasten our departure? Sir Estinian will wonder what will become of us.
Is something done?
No, duty. It's the duty now. Yes, sufficient item level. No item level do I need for this? I need to go buy something. So I'll go do that real quick. Be right back. Let's see. It should be. Don't need a shield then. That's expensive. I'm gonna try to find a cheaper one. Nobody knows them. Pretty expensive too, but that's fine. Earring. No, I don't worry about earrings. This. Don't worry about this either. No. Okay, that's it. Didn't put it up enough, but I got enough to do it. It's There we go. Probably a dumb idea, but oh well. I can get it back pretty easily. It's not hard to get gil in this game. Actually, it's the easiest thing to do. Surprisingly enough. I need to find a mender though. What's the I need to find out. To sell stuff. Let's go. Jump on. There we go. Now I can go. I got a sword. I don't need a shield. I might find a shield in this dungeon, maybe. Okay, I got enough item levels. I have no idea what to expect here, so...
They need some. Yeah, back.
And since you had the map, it seems to be unlocking a bunch of things. No, not one of those. I don't want to fight one of those. You're my biggest nightmare.
This will hurt.
And I just got poison, nausea, slowed. I'm back.
underestimate me!
Loading sharks! Ooh, that was close. Ugh. Another one of healing. Oh, another one of these.
Gloves are off.
confusing boss coming up.
Underestimate me! You're mine!
Man, you up for useless in this game. Oh crap, oh.
I will not hold back. I will end this farce.
This all hurts. Got you!
Sir. Apples.
Oh, mimics, lovely. I come into this place and I find mimics. Yay! It had to be mimics.
Het is
Yeah, there's no more mimics, it looks like.
check something. There's some being fussy.
Oh, it's this boss.
Echt wel actief. Sorry, the cat's just being a bit spoiled.
Kitty bean, kitty.
Yeah.
What have we here?
'Tis not unlike a Hunnish alchemical furnace in design.
Well, there is one way we might find out.
Stop! You mustn't touch it.
Free trap. Oh, my apologies. Should I continue calling you Varsham?
You may address me as you wish. My nature is no longer a secret. Still, this is not a setting I imagined for our reunion. Surely you've not entered these ruins as common looters.
Would that we could deny your accusations, but I fear you're not far from the truth.
Great Vritra, might we beseech thee to explain the nature of this strange contrivance?
Sorry.
It was crafted by our alchemists at my behest, for the purpose of sealing something away. Perhaps I should simply show you. I have lifted the seal, if only for the moment, by an authority only I possess.
A planar fissure?
No, my friend. Small though it may be, this is a functioning gate into the void.
We already know who Vitra is, game.
I must admit, I am deathly curious to know how a void gate came to be hidden in the depths
Amen.
of these ruins.
Dragon Song is planned.
To tell that tale, we must first peer far to the south, and even further into memory. An age 5 millennia past, when the Algan Empire sent an invading force to the shores of Mericidia. The southern people rallied around the commanding figures of Bahamut and Tiamat and fought fiercely to repel the would-be conquerors. With Bahamut's defeat, however, the tide turned against them.
Wait,
Desperate to
the
seize
Warrior
any
Triad!
advantage, the Mercidians resorted to summoning primal entities. In response, Emperor Zande forged a covenant with the Cloud of Darkness, sovereign among the all.
Okay, that makes more sense now.
denizens
Why the Cloud of
void.
Darkness existed.
Thus bolstered by icons on one side and void scent on the other, the two armies clashed in a battle of unspeakable carnage. So much death, so much loss.
I consider myself well versed in that period of history, yet you speak as one who witnessed it happen.
Indeed, I did. I heard Tiamat's roar of defiance and sped toward that war-torn land. Along with my sibling, Ashdaya.
Ashdaya.
We dragons are not male or female as men are wont to classify, but elder sister is the closest a mortal tongue can come to describing what she meant to me. I was the last of our brood to hatch, and Ashdaya cared for me where my sire could not. Thus I was with her when Tiamat roared. I was with her when she journeyed south, and I was with her when she fought against the void-sent hordes. Yet no matter how many of their vile fiends we cast down, more rose from the abyss to take their place. Faced with an unwinnable war of attrition, Ashdaya risked her all on a final gamble. She plunged through the void gate itself to strike at the root of their strength. I tried to follow in her wake, determined to lend what aid I could. But even as I came upon Alag's glittering tower, I saw the rift close behind her. And Ashdaya has been lost to us ever since.
A rare query.
I find I must retract my earlier claim of historical knowledge. Nowhere in the Crystal Tower's archives did I see mention of such noble sacrifice.
That does not surprise me. To Alagan eyes, it must have seemed as if a lone dragon, driven to madness, simply dove through the gate and did not return. For my part, I spent long years searching for the means to reunite with Ashdaya. Until I could search no more. Until Alag was dust, and the art to open a void gates large enough to accommodate a dragon forever lost.
Yet you have the beginnings of a gate right here, under the control of a harnessed device.
My discovery came before Radzat Han was founded. Though I scoured the lands for a method to cross the rift, it was beneath the sea that I chanced to find a natural planar fissure. It was, however, far too narrow to admit a worm's bulk. Only after our city rose upon the rock, and I could enlist the aid of our talented alchemists, did matters take a favorable turn. Their dedication was beyond reproach. Tirelessly, they worked to expand the fissure, and after decades of toil, it finally grew to a size that a child might pass through.
Not long ago, you told us that you called out to your kin, that Ashdaya's answer was silence. suspect the conclusion to your tale was not a joyful one.
With hope in my heart, I used the simulacrum to cross the threshold. But no, I did not find her. What I found was a host of voidsent clamoring around the opening they had sensed. 'Twas but a moment. I had no choice but to retreat and allow the portal to contract once more.
The gate was a threat to your people. You had to decide between endangering Razathan and abandoning your sister. You chose the latter.
'Twas not that thy siblings scorned thy call. 'Twas that she was trapped beyond a barrier through which neither roar nor dragon may pass. Even now, in the desolate world of the 13th.
I can scarce imagine your pain, yet it was wise not to linger in that place. Too long a sojourn, and even a being of your power risks being warped into a creature of the void. You've seen this phenomenon before, when we stepped into the darkness. Turned purple? Well, yes. His wounds had allowed the void's corruption to enter his body and twist his ether. Had it been allowed to progress much longer, I presume he would have been fully transformed.
Then there is little hope for Ashdaya.
Ah, no. I hadn't meant to. I speak only of possibilities. The scales of the first brood are extraordinarily resistant to ethereal fluctuations. They are the protective talisman's core components after all,
change
and
those colors
even
then.
the corruption I described would struggle to overcome. Of course. With the warding scale in one's possession, one could conceivably survive a stay in the 13th without being warped by its energies.
Be that as it may, it is too late to rescue my sister. 5,000 years too late.
I thought she'd still be alive in there.
And now countless others look to me for guidance and protection. So when I sensed intruders in the ruins, I came only to ensure that the gate remained closed. That, and to secure the treasure, of course. I wish only to forget the rest.
Wow, the Codex is going nuts now. First Brood, Arianje, Ether. I kind of figured that that was kind of too good to be true of a treasure. I'm gonna see if I can buy something here. Exchange, see if I can get anything. I get the sword, what about my shield? I don't need the shield. This, I don't even see Guardian stuff. Well, tank stuff. I need to find. I am sure there's that vendor here. That vendor for the stones. I just don't. For the tomes. I just don't know where. I thought it'd be in Shellian, but it's not there at all. And it's not here, the gal who does the tomes, so... I would have saved me a lot of gil if I find her. Now under the Chronicles of a New Era quest, myths of Realm Reborn, fresh-faced student at the Executor's quest. You now undertake Chronicles of a New Era quest series, myths of the Realm. Okay, let's see. Meanwhile, that's where. What's going on elsewhere? Oh, it's the Void. It's evil! I could just see X-Death! Where's X-Death? Hello, Emperor. Wait, that's not X-Step, that's Gomez. That's Golbez's armor. Thorn of the... Thorn of Earth. Thorn of Fire. Thorn of Wind. I think the next one's gonna be, yeah, well, it's water. Thorn of Water. Knight in Black. Hello, Gomez! Wow, it is Gomez! His armor looks amazing in this game. Well, I unlocked more side stuff.
Woo!
So much side stuff to do now that... There's some side stuff right here. Nah, I'm not gonna open it yet. It's gonna start. I'm gonna do Well Reborn stuff first. Do that side stuff that I need to do. Then go through Heaven's Ward, Stormblood, and all that. I'm gonna ask a friend of mine, where the heck is it?
I do have to go fishing. So.
Healing the world after the end times. It's not gonna be easy. It'll take a while. I would take years for things to get back to normal.
I thank you for your attendance. riches the Radiant Host have retrieved were hoarded in Al-Zadal's name. A fortune I set aside for a future day of need. And lo, that day hath come. May it aid our wounded city in reclaiming its vibrancy and vigor. In better times, I would leave such a task to our capable Ahawan. God's rest his soul. Finding myself bereft of his counsel in the here and now, I will assume the responsibilities of mine office directly. Firstly, the treasure shall be sold for more convenient currency, thence invested into the trading port of Yedlamad. Our merchants must have their operations restored, their ships rebuilt. Commerce must flow once more. None were spared the tragedy of the final days. Of this I am well aware. But an absence was created by the loss of Karzal's consortium. And by filling it, we provide new means for our fishermen, our artisans, and others to bring their wares to distant markets.
And what of the children who were left without family to care for them?
That is a concern which weigheth heavily upon my mind. The simple gift of coin will soon be exhausted, leaving these young souls adrift on the fringes of our society. Nay, a proper solution is needed, one which doth guarantee their welfare for years to come. Thou hast surely seen how other nations rise to meet this challenge, adventurer. What dost thou deem the wisest course? I see. We create a reliable source of revenue. Let us put this idea into practice. A contract shall be written, requiring all who receive of Al-Zadal's treasure to commit a portion of their future earnings towards the running of an orphanage.
I like that idea actually.
Now, such an influential policy is deserving of a worthy name. A fitting candidate. Karzal should be remembered, not as the blasphemy which terrorized Thavne, but as a hard-working and generous man who brought much wealth to our shores. Do any among you object to this proposition? Many here lost loved ones to the beasts.
In that time of strife, any one of us could have broken. Any one of us may have been taken by despair. When I think of Kalzal, I feel no hatred. Only a stinging regret that we could not save him as well. Isn't that right, men?
And woman. There's a woman there. Be kind.
This bodes well for that boy. Narad, was it? Perhaps he can cut ties with that shady peddler.
Then let it be done. Henceforth, this initiative shall be known as the Kalzal Foundation. Nadine, thou art to assemble a patrol and ensure that no child in this city liveth in squalor. Clerks, see to the management of our funds and make haste. Our citizens must not suffer a day more than is necessary.
Dragon and man, side by side in pursuit of a brighter morrow. Reminded of Ishgard.
I have a feeling that something's gonna go wrong, but that happens. Bridging the Rift is the next quest. Oh. Remember that one episode of Stargate where the Russians came in and Hammond said, "There was all good men here," and General Neo says, "There was a lady here, sir," and General Hammond just ignores him. Okay.
Bye.
Right, here we all are.
You discovered something new.
I took a closer look at that device. I was able to determine how it keeps the void gate sealed, but not how it might instead be employed to expand the opening. For that, I would need to reference the technique developed by Reacher's alchemists, no records of which appear to have survived the intervening years.
We know this, so why have you sent for us? Have you learned aught of value or not?
Patience, good sir. One must introduce the subject before launching into specifics. From what we understand, travel between worlds is accomplished by passing through the nebulous rift which exists between them. Picture, if you will, the moment you were called to the first. You touched a focus of some kind to help the Exarch pinpoint your location. His summoning spell then channeled the energies of the Crystal Tower to begin your journey to his world. The magics tore a hole in the wall separating source and shard, and cast you into the intervening nothingness. In that place, the laws of nature hold no sway. Yet even through this realm of temporal and spatial instability, you were borne safely to your destination in the first. The feat that guided you across such an unimaginable distance, both physical and metaphorical, was nothing short of a miracle.
Then what of the many voidsent found in the source? Who guides them here, and how?
An excellent question. Though there are several methods by which the Void's denizens might intrude upon our world, the rituals of summoning are the most typical. For example, let us consider the Gargoyle, a creature of middling power. To call upon such an entity, the prospective summoner must force open a void.
It's an arbitration.
The portal lasts but a moment and is relatively small, allowing only an imp or other lesser being to squeeze through with their physical body intact. Our more powerful gargoyle, however, is too large for that. Creating a gate big enough for him would require vast amounts of energy, far beyond the reserves of any one mortal practitioner.
I'm gonna be doing
Instead, 'tis far more common to bring over only the entity's soul. We had a taste of that ourselves when a certain Exarch dragged us to the first. And just as our bodies remained in our world, the Voidsent's physical form is left behind in the 13th.
Huh. That makes sense, actually. Then your souls are put in statues.
Oh, this is working. I was like,
Okay. Interesting way to summon.
Once at its destination, the summoned soul is granted a temporary shell to inhabit. In the gargoyle's case, a stone effigy has proven a suitable vessel.
Wait. You said that void scent must be called here deliberately by someone in the source, reeled in like a fisherman with his catch.
That one is
Exactly. For a being to navigate the chaos of the rift, with or without form, there must needs be a guiding agent on the other side.
That might be no.
When the hordes poured forth from Alag's Great Gate, it was the technologists who drew them through. Though to my knowledge, planar fissures are in essence natural passages between our world and the void, which require no such guidance to traverse. Why is only the boundary between the source and the 13th so fragile? So much so that it often tears open of its own accord.
I believe solving that mystery is key to understanding travel between the source and its reflections.
It sounds like the next expansion might be the story of the 13.
No, the danger is too great.
Perhaps, but what some call danger, others think of as adventure.
Were you not listening to my tale? Never mind that the means to expand the gate has been lost to the ages. Even could you force the portal wide enough, you would be greeted by an army of murderous horrors the very instant you step through.
The chamber else is going to go on this.
I assure you I was most attentive, and I agree that to go alone would be certain death. But if I were to bring along one who has already braved the 13th and humbled the cloud of darkness, well, I imagine my chances would be much improved. I had a feeling you might say that. Once again, I put my life in your ever-reliable hands. That said, as much as I would like to march straight back to the Void Gate, there is the small matter of being unable to open it without the Satrap's personal authority.
Be careful with that.
Let him think about it. Why would...
As I've said before, I will grant you and yours any boon you choose to name, provided it does not endanger my people.
I don't know who he is.
You have my word that we will take every precaution. Not a single void scent will be allowed to threaten Radzatan, assuming we manage to expand the portal in the first place.
You have a plan.
Actually, I had hoped you might help us with that. I presume the alchemists you retained supplied you with some explanation of their methodology.
That they did. House Daimir was overseeing the project.
By relation is...
Daimir. Ah, yes. The family associated with the Great
Okay,
World.
I have this one on then.
I did not fully comprehend the
this is
theory,
very much it.
but their research began with a void scent which had slipped through the fissure. After a thorough examination, they created an arcane simulacrum possessed of similar qualities. A man-made void scent, if you will. It was apparently indispensable in their efforts to enlarge the gate.
A man-made.
Oh, so that's... Okay, so...
Yes. Being great admirers of the Archons, House Daymir submitted detailed notes to Charlene's official committee. They expected praise and accolades for their simulacrum, and were thus devastated to be informed that their work had been classified as prohibited material.
If that's true, then those notes might still be stored in a forbidden archive somewhere. Not Google, of course, since that library had yet to be built. Which leaves us with...
Yes, I also read it.
Indeed. Numenon's restricted stacks may very well hold a copy. In which case, I say we head directly to Charlene.
Wait. I need...
Unless you anticipate needing help to reach the high shelves, I see myself being of little use. Go on ahead. I still need to find Mirad and tell him about the Kalzal Foundation.
Let us be on our way as well.
That's right.
They are resolved to venture into the void. Do I sit idly by?
I don't know.
I need to go to the bathroom real quick, so I'll be back. There's shops here, so maybe I can find it here. Anyway, I'll be right back real quick.
This is the build I have.
I'm back. There is one here. There might not be one here. Kind of sad, really. Those ones are discontinued. And well, when I do stuff off stream, I'm actually going to do the beast tribes. I wonder, is it worth doing the beast tribe stuff?
Yes. There's special items you might need.
And there's also mounts and...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll do them all off stream, of course.
Yeah, I'm barely touching them right now. I'm mostly now doing whatever I feel like.
Yeah, I just wanted to do the story on stream, and side story stuff will be off stream, and the beast stuff. I'm gonna be doing a lot of stuff, and I have like 23 days left of game time, so yeah. Oh, I see me. But yeah, I do want to do the Coils of Bahamut sometime.
Do them unrestricted. Nobody runs them because they're really hard. Like, let me say this. Some of the boss fights, they will kick your ass unrestricted as well if you don't know what you're doing. There's a lot of instant death mechanics there.
I see. So it's best to do them unrestricted then? And
Yeah.
so it might be best to have someone else with me then.
Yeah, at least have 2 people with you. You don't need a tank, you just need 2 people. Like, the big boss fights at the end of each coil are annoying. So the first coil, the first 4 parts are actually pretty doable with normal parties, but unrestricted, they're very fine. It's the boss that comes afterwards, which is a nightmare. Like, I never cleared unrestricted because every time someone in the party fucks up and there's so much instant death mechanics, it's ridiculous. The second one is short. The second coil is shorter. The first 3 things are easily done with normal parties, but the boss fight, that boss fight is a nightmare. Like, people, like, let me say this. Most people say, like, if you mention this boss fight, they will say, like, yeah, there's no difference between that and the expert version. They're just equally hard.
Is that why Square kind of asked the devs to tone it down on stuff in this game?
Oh yeah, it's definitely those raids that have forced it to tone it down, because let me just say this. It's not like, only the ultimate content has this mechanics where you have to play the whole fight constantly perfect, and if you fuck up once, it's most likely you will fuck up. Now think that as normal content, not the expert content, but a normal content. One fuck up and you're pretty much guaranteed to wipe.
Yeah, I was told never do extreme mode of Knights of the Round.
I've done it. It's very doable. But it's a whole different fight, by the way. It's not even the same fight.
They do the entire thing, don't they? Do the entire Knights of the Round attack, don't they?
Yep. And you have to survive it, and you have to know every mechanic of every attack to survive it. Also, there's a new mechanic. Also, you know that eye mechanic that you have to look away from things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in the background now of the fight, mostly constantly. And when he casts certain things, you're not allowed to look at both King Forden or the eye. If you do, you're gonna die. But it's a very, like, the last Coil of Bahamut has a lot of boss fights, but they're fun boss fights. They're pretty good. And the final fight with Bahamut is pretty spectacular, but also do it unrestricted. But even with restriction, but even restricted, it's still fun. But let me say this: most of the fight with Bahamut is fighting mobs, because he stays in the background like a coward. But unrestricted is very doable.
I figured.
And the Alexander raids, the Sky Party stuff, you can just do those with parties, because there's plenty of parties going for that. It's pretty fun.
Well, the reason for Alexander is because of the music.
Yeah. Then we don't have it, and then we have the Warring Triad in Heaven's Ward, which is a side story.
Yeah, I just saw them in this expansion. They were talked about.
Yeah, the Warring Triad is also in Heaven's Ward, and those fights are also pretty fun.
Well, they were talked about, kind of an interesting way too, how they were brought in.
Yeah, there's a character in the side story that just disappears at one point, and remember the Legis that attacks you in Heaven's Ward?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a big story in that.
I figured.
So,
But the
And
thing
there's a
is,
reason you don't see him anymore after that story.
and the thing in Endwalker here, you apparently learn why the Warren Triad showed up.
Yeah, they were made by the Empire, by the Alagan Empire. I know that.
Not the Alagan Empire, something else, but. And it also explains why Zandi did what he did, too, so... I'm happy they actually used Endwalker to bring up stuff that comes up in earlier games.
But then we have... With Stormblood you have the Evilist story, which is Final Fantasy XII crossed over with Final Fantasy XIV and Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh yeah, don't forget the Monster Hunter stuff.
Monster Hunter is just a one raid fight.
I know, with the Rathian.
Yeah, it's just a Rathalos. It's a Rathalos, not Rathian.
Yes. But I want to get the mount, so...
Yeah, then you have to do the expert version. The expert version is also very doable.
I'm told the expert version is actually pretty easy.
Yeah, it's like the normal version is with 8 players, and then the expert version is with 4 players, and you have less potions. That's it.
Well, the thing is, it's just like a normal Monster Hunter fight. So, and I played Monster Hunter, so okay.
It's not that hard. Then we have yeah, I have it also has a few side content, side dungeons, and side raids you can do. So don't worry. The other thing with Stormblood that's also interesting is yeah, the Omega stuff. The Omega stuff is really fun. It's really good. And then we have the Four Lords story, which is 3 primal battles. And those battles are fun. Like,
which
holy
primals
crap.
though?
They're not really primals. They're the 4 lords, and you have to fight 3 of the lords because the 4th lord is your ally.
Is it the guys that look like Titan but different?
No, that's Shadowbringers, Eden.
Oh, the Eden stuff, where that makes Titan look very weird.
Yeah, Titan in a card. That he run me over. Yeah, that's Eden. That's the Eden storyline. That's Shadowbringers.
Titan in the car and he ran you over. What?
Yep. But can I continue my story? But yeah.
Good.
The three lords are a tiger, a snake, and a bird.
Huh. They actually remind me of characters from the game.
And those fights are amazing, by the way. They're really fun. They're really good fights. My favorite is the tiger, because it does something so ridiculous that it introduces a new mechanic, and just like, oh, okay.
And don't they like talk to you and say you're dead and all that, or I'm gonna kill you?
They pretty much are. All of them fight you because there's guardian spirits that are slowly being devoured by their primal anger, so you have to fight them to calm the fuck down. But they're willingly fight you. Say like, show me your strength, and says like, this is yours. And some freak out. Some have different reactions. Some need therapy session, others just want a good fight.
Makes sense.
And then you beat them, and those are also good fights. And in Shadowbringers, it's the weapons, it's the Alliance raid is the Nier Automata stuff, and the Eden stuff. Yeah, those are the extra stuff. And there's also some extra dungeons that are interesting. Which explains some lore aspects, because one is a meme dungeon. I'll just say this, it's been meme from hell to back, is the twinning.
Oh, you mean the one where the 2 twins that is one of the hardest fights?
No, the twinning is a dungeon. It doesn't have to do with the twins.
If House Damia's notes are to be found anywhere,
The twinning is a dungeon that takes place underneath the Crystal Tower. Instead of going up the Crystal Tower, you're going down the Crystal Tower. It's a good dungeon, trust me. And then we have the twinning dungeon. Then we have you can't do the twinning dungeon until you beat Omega, by the way. Then we have the Academy dungeon. There's a lot of extra dungeons in the games. Like you just have to try them out. They're very fun. You'll love them. And Endwalker is still working on its post game. I do know that the first part of the Alliance raid has been completed, so you can do that.
I don't think the Alliance raid is out yet, though.
No, it's out.
What is it?
I don't know. I know it's an alliance, and there's no an Alliance raid. I think you need to fight. Oh yeah, it's the 12. You have to fight the 12.
Oh, you can fight the 12. Yeah, the 12 gods or something.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that, but I'm hoping we see the trailer for the new patch soon. Also, yeah, they showed Gomez. His armor looks amazing in this.
Yeah, I believe those fights are different, are also side content, but I'm not sure.
Well, no, I don't think you can fight him yet.
I know I've seen footage of you fighting him, but I think it's special content or special side content, but whatever.
Does he show up with his little dragon?
Yes, the ether signature is unmistakable. I've felt the traces of House Damia's resonance many times.
Oh no, it's just a cinematic appearance. It's not a fight. That was
Yeah, he showed up.
Time to see what all the fuss was about.
His armor looks amazing in this. They made him look like, well, like he does in 4. His armor looks a lot better here in. It looks a lot better too. In 4, he just looked like a wannabe blue Darth Vader.
Among the ranks of the Void Sent, there exist entities with the power to call forth their brethren from beyond. The species known as Atomos, however, is uniquely prodigious in this regard.
He was a boss in 5.
Its distended maw, it can expel an endless procession of
fighting
void-born
Atmos,
creatures.
and I hated that fight.
A talent which sorely
But remember,
the
the Kafka fight is in Stormbringer. I mean Stormblood.
Stormbringer.
Surmising that the entity itself was acting as a void gate, we endeavored to capture a small specimen and subsequently examine its physiological structure.
Like a lot of the fun fights are in Stormblood, but the full version of the fights are only on the harder difficulties. Which is a shame.
Question, though, what can you get from the roguelike a thing? You can get
special mounts, special achievements, and you've probably seen those weapons that fully glow white or fully glow red.
Oh, those? Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, that you get them there. Those are your rewards from that.
We proceeded to embed that prism into an arcane simulacrum, thus completing what we have dubbed our artificial atoms. How could I have been so blind to the possibilities? This species, not to mention its ability to summon Void Sent, has been discussed among academics for years now. Just before the advent of the 7th Umbral Calamity, we received reports of Atomos sightings from every corner of Eorzea. Surely you've at least heard the tales.
Oh, I'm being called over. Lip poof.
And still, House Damia went and built a mock Atomos of their very own. I'm not surprised the Archons consigned their work to a restricted archive. It was no easy task, but at last we've unearthed the volume we've been searching for. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to stay longer. See what other forbidden titles might be lurking on these shelves? Ah, but that would be abusing the very special privilege we've been granted now, wouldn't it? Better not.
There's a reason why it's forbidden to begin with. The 7th Umbo Calamity. Nadana! Yay! More Nadana! Oh, I love her! Nadana is like, oh, Twilight Sparkle, must read, must read, must read. Alright guys, since I'm done with the main story and side story soon, I'm going to be streaming other games. Of course, it might be a bit before I start streaming them, like Final Fantasy VI that needs to be one, Dark Souls 2, I need to get back into that, Dark Souls 3, but I gotta get back to where I was in Dark Souls 2 because of my new computer. Yeah, I got a lot of games I want to stream, even Sleeping Dogs, but I'm gonna find a game to win on my own time, and that is actually trying to remember what it is. It's forbidden. It's the Forbidden game. feeling that Gomez is gonna come out.
The ruins alone were impressive enough, but I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden in the depths of the bounty. It may have been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors. I feared for what might happen should those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
What is it you're doing now?
There's something I wish to verify. The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance. Should one suffer an injury, however, or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater. Graha theorized that a warding scale would confer protection from the void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that hypothesis before we set foot in the 13th ourselves.
So, this is an experiment of sorts.
Yes, an experiment. Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale?
And how would you do that? The gate is still too small for any of us to pass through.
Estinian is correct, which is why I've elected to send a familiar in our stead. Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow. Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same. I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do, I'm afraid.
I mislike the sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born.
Water, water, froth and foam!
Ready your arms. I fear she's been possessed.
Oh, come now. That was adorable.
Aww.
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate. I only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual. In any case, these two should serve as well. This one will bear a warding scale. And when they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption. If I could impose upon you to open the gate, Your Excellency?
Ah, yes, of course.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nidana safe from harm.
As you say.
You had best be on your guard as well. And we are glad for it. Let us begin, shall we? Nixies, into the void. I think we've waited long enough. Nixies, return to my side. Thank you, little one. You did well.
Poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
We're out of time. I must reseal the void gate.
They're coming through!
In the name of Alzadal III, I bar this door unto the void.
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of void gates.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
The unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent. The one merged with the talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium. Rest now, little ones.
Maher's theory was correct then.
So it would seem. But while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows signs of degradation. It was, of course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently. We may need to modify the warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
You've said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
Ah, my apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives. The 13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness. In Emmett Selk's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste, and made of that world a useless void. And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition? I can picture it now. The sunless, Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities. A void in every sense of the word.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
Worry not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage. A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new mysteries and discoveries. And I mean to be there every step of the way. But first I must focus on refining the warding talisman.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos. Or I could, if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archives? Your Excellency?
Oh, yes. That can be arranged. I will speak to my officials upon our return.
We will see you back in the city then.
Stidian notices something wrong. Am I gonna see Gomez again? I guess not. Well, I'm all the way in Walker's Reach. Why did I end up here? Oh, wait. Interesting. I didn't know they were here. Why is Sid working here then? That's weird to me.
Ah, hey, Stola. The adjustments are going well, I hope?
'Tis a lengthy process, but the end is in sight, yes.
That's wonderful news. I myself had some good fortune searching through the Satrap's private records. What I found was a transaction log dated around the same period as when Alzadal's legacy was built. It included a purchase list of highly exclusive alchemical components. And I knew I'd discovered the key to making the artificial atomos. I then visited the High Crucible to commission the materials. After I'd explained my requirements, I was beset by volunteers insisting I allow them to help with the entire project.
The usual reaction to someone forcing open a void gate is to run for the hills. Harnish academics certainly are a different breed.
The alchemists of old were cut from a similar cloth. The unknown held no fear for them. Indeed, they were ever eager to seek new knowledge, regardless of the danger.
And were you not also fearless, heedless even, in your determination?
My sire entered his dormancy before I was hatched. And so it was Ashdaya who kept my eggs safe and warm. It created a bond between us. Even long after I learned to fend for myself, I rarely strayed from her side. She was my guardian, my sister, my dear companion. And not a single day passes that I do not mourn her absence. No matter how deep the darkness, I would not surrender my search. I promised myself the time would come when we would once more take to the skies together. But I am satrap now.
The Radiant Host is here to serve, Your Excellency.
Nabdeen, what is this about?
Celestinian told us of your predicament. For centuries you have protected Rads at Han, never showing your true hiding behind a curtain and living only in service to the people. Your dedication meant more to us than your deceit, and so did we accept you as our rightful ruler. After all that you have sacrificed for this nation, did you imagine we would begrudge you your heart's desire? We survived the final days. We are a strong and proud people. We, the Radiant Host, will keep Thavnair safe in your absence.
I am grateful for your loyalty and for your encouragement. And yet...
Now you listen to me, Varshan! You are wearing that face, after all. As I have told you before, you are a little brother to us all. And if you are family, then so too is your sister. We are there for you if you need us. But do not ask us to sit by and watch while you abandon a sibling you have ached to rescue for millennia.
We will succeed in opening the way. It is only a matter of time. All you need do is prepare to step through to the other side.
Your Excellency, I wanted to thank you for building the orphanage. It means so much that my sister and I will have a place to be together, safe and happy. And I hope that you and your sister can be together again too.
All this for Vitra.
Take heart and protect them well. Such were the words I once said to you. And here I stand, failing to live up to them. If my heart is torn, I am fit to protect neither Ashdaya nor Radzatan. My people, I have come to a decision. Vashan will depart Thavnir for a time. My dragon self will remain in the palace, but only to conduct the satrap's most essential duties. While I am focused on controlling this vessel, there may be matters that escape my attention. I rely on you, my trusted friends, to watch over one another until I return.
Take care and fair fortune, little brother. Many tears would be shed should you come to harm.
I would not dare make you cry.
It's raining. Like that it rains in the city, because seriously, it took, wow, several years to get that. Okay, here's something. Meanwhile, on the 13th. Meanwhile, in Legion Doom. Yee. What's up, Gomez? What is that, Gomez? Is the Emperor? Yeah, it must be the Emperor.
And thus I am returned. To this world, bereft of saviors.
The peasant Kizzle adventurous spur. Pulses quicken, spirits stir. To be continued! Okay, the first patch is done. And I'm gonna go back to the start of the main game. And I'm going to park my character there. And I'm gonna start doing the side story stuff on my own time. So, I want to thank you guys for sticking around. But the thing is, I would say the story is actually pretty good so far. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I can do here, and it's going to take a while to get it all done. So, later, everyone.